So police are saying there is extensive damage to roads and buildings. We're waiting right now for an update, a press conference from Alaska's Governor Bill Walker that was due to start a few minutes ago. They're running late. This about 7 hours after the quake struck. The images you're seeing are of darkness. It looks like it happened during the middle of the night, but that's just because in Alaska being so far north, at 8:30 in the morning, people were out on their way to work or at work or school already when this happened. So a lot of what we're seeing is kids in the classroom ducking under desks, people at their place of work. And it's quite astonishing given how strong this was and how close the epicenter was to a major city, to Alaska's largest city, that there are neither any deaths nor any major injuries reported. Really says a lot to both the emergency response and the infrastructure there that given how serious of an earthquake it is, it's remarkably good news.
Yeah, let's have a little talk about that, the response. I mean, Alaska is not considered high risk for strong earthquakes like other parts of the USA. You have California, and yet it does seem as if people were prepared.
That's right. The fears of the big one in a place like Anchorage aren't nearly as strong as you'd have in other U.S. cities or other parts of the Pacific Rim. Here in the U.S. particularly, of course, Los Angeles, where I am, and also San Francisco. But in Anchorage, in fact, the strongest earthquake in U.S. history, that's where it happened. It was in 1964. So for a lot of people living there, that would be in living memory. About 120 people died there. So part of their culture is to be prepared to do drills and, again, to have infrastructure ready. Now we're seeing a strong response also, not just from locals, but from the federal government, which immediately offered aid. And we know that part of the emergency response, in addition to police, is also the National Guard. So given, again, what's happened, it's a pretty great story so far, knowing that the damage is extensive. Estimates initially of the financial cost of this is between $100 million and $1 billion. So a long weekend ahead of assessment before that rebuilding in Anchorage can begin.